Just give it an empathy test. That'll tell you everything you need to know.
I was just patient, never try skating. Fuck niggas hating.
One clear difference between a good woman and a toxic woman is her ability to have empathy. Okay. So in this video, I want to show you a couple of tests, not manipulation tactics. No, no, no. We don't do that here. But a couple of tests. And even if you didn't like run these tests intentionally and just on your regular day-to-day experiences with this woman, these type of things happen, you're going to see what I'm talking about here. You're going to be able to gauge if she has empathy and if she does, to what degree. Okay. Now, why am I making a video about empathy? Well, clearly I said one clear sign or difference between a good woman and a toxic woman is her level of empathy. But empathy is needed in order for you to have a sustaining relationship. In order for you to have healthy conversations, you need empathy. In order for you to reason with somebody, they must have empathy. You both must have empathy, because you can't reason with somebody. You can't come to an understanding with somebody who does not have empathy. It won't happen. So it's very important that you are dating a woman who is capable of empathy, who has empathy pre-installed in her soul, in her body, in her mind, in her heart, prior to you meeting her. Okay? That is why I would suggest you running an empathy test. Now, here's a few tests that you can run to test a woman's empathy. It's not going to be too dark. It's just going to be some light work. You know what I'm saying? Things that you can casually do. You don't need to go out of your way to do these things. I do not believe in manipulation tactics. And I do not believe in having to set up some kind of trap or, you know what I'm saying, something that more, if you set up a trap, she's going to fail. And then you can't say, I knew you wasn't worthy. See, that's what manipulators do. They set traps for you to fall in, step in, you know, and then when you fail, they use that as justification for why they mistreat you. We don't do that over here. Let me get into it. Number one, movie night. You're Netflixing and you're chilling with a woman. What I would do is go ahead and watch one of those chick flicks with her. There's movies like, I think it's something, The Love Letter or something like that. There's movies I haven't watched, but I've been told by other men that they are tearjerkers. There are movies that are like tearjerker, emotional movies, chick flicks, romantic comedies that you can watch with a woman. And when you see those, you know, those not sad scenes, but those emotional scenes, you can see how this woman acts, how she responds. Clearly, an empath is going to see a sad scene in the movie and they are going to feel it. It's going to draw an emotional response out of them. Okay? But what you'll see is with somebody who doesn't have empathy, it won't have any effect on them. You know, they might even try to avoid watching these scenes. They might even try to avoid these movies altogether. Okay? On a private note, one movie that does that to me all the time as an empath, I don't care what you think, is Armageddon. Okay, at the very end of the movie, well, towards the very end, the climactic scene of the movie where Bruce Willis pushes Ben Affleck back in the spaceship after they're leaving the meteor to save the world. That gets me because it's sacrifice, it's love. It has a lot of things that would draw any emotional response out of an empathetic person. Sorry, just a little side note, a little personal fact you wouldn't know unless I told you. Number two, empathy test. Okay. is give somebody something that you could have given your partner in front of them. It can be anything. I'm telling you, give a bum or a homeless person or a person in need. Sorry, no offense. Give them $20 in front of your girlfriend. Be helpful to somebody else. Hold the door open for somebody else in front of your girlfriend. Mm-mm-mm. Somebody who has empathy is going to be attracted to you for doing this. They're going to be, you're so sweet. Someone who lacks empathy is going to be annoyed that the attention that you were given wasn't to them. The help that you provided wasn't for them. They lack the ability to be happy for somebody else. This is going to bother them. And you're going to see that. See how I said this is not stuff that you have to go out of your way to do? I know I'm a genius. It's something that you can just observe. You see somebody in need, you with your lady, help them out. Help them cross the street, help them up the stairs, help them give them $20. You know what I'm saying? And I'm using 20 because it's a dramatic amount, but she's probably going to be annoyed that you gave that person that much money. But somebody who has empathy is going to be, they're not going to care how much you gave them. They're going to feel like the more you gave them, the more helpful it's going to be for them. Number 3, ask them for help. Ask your partner for help. Whatever kind of help you want to do. Ask them for help moving something. Ask them, for help at any time. Like I said, this doesn't have to be something that you go out of your way to do. Let's say you ran out of gas. Call them and ask them for help. You're on the side of the road. You need help. Ask this person for help and watch what happens. Now, empath is going to feel excited to be able to help. That is their love language. Empaths love to feel needed and wanted and helpful. I'm gonna go further. An empath even prays and thanks God for the opportunity to help somebody else. That's how empaths are. If you heard that right now and you was like, what? You're not an empath. You don't know what I'm talking about. Someone who lacks empathy, you call them and ask them for help at any point in time. They're going to do one of a few things. Either A, they're going to not make themselves available to help you. B, they're going to complain that they have to come out their way to help you. Or C, they're going to do it and then throw it back in your face one day. Empaths will never throw helping you back in your face. They enjoy doing it. Okay? That's another empath test or empathy test. Whew, it's going to be some breakups going on. Number 4, bring up something you didn't like. Anything. Again, you don't have to go out of your way to do this. If they said or did something or you saw something that you didn't like, if they're following somebody that you don't want them to follow on social media, bring up anything that you don't like. Somebody who has empathy is going to listen to you with discernment, and they're trying to understand what bothered you because they have no intentions on hurting you. They actually look forward to keeping a smile on your face. Ooh, doesn't that sound nice and rich? Yeah, sound like somebody you want to be with, right? So you might want to be with somebody who has empathy, right? Oh, you feeling me now? Huh. Tell somebody who doesn't have empathy something that you didn't like. Deflection. You're tripping. Oh my God. Why you gotta always find something to complain about? I can't do nothing right. Guilt tripping, everything. Everything but understanding and acknowledging what you're saying will come out this person's mouth. They do not have empathy, or their levels of empathy are too low. That's an easy test to run, right? Number 5, show your imperfections. Ooh, scary, huh? Oh man, modern dating is scary, man. You show somebody your imperfections. it's a wrap. I've seen this video where this guy, it was obviously a skit done for TikTok or something, but this guy was on a date with his girlfriend and he told his girl, "Babe, I forgot my wallet at home." She said, "Oh, it's okay." "You sure, babe? I don't want you to be mad." He was like, "Babe, it's okay." And she paid the bill and he was like, "Well, actually, I do got my wallet. I just wanted to see what you was going to do." She was like, "I'll still pay. You pay all the time." That's ideal for a man who wants a woman who has empathy. But what you'll see if this woman doesn't have empathy is that you showing your imperfections will instantly trigger her judgmental side, and she will be irritable and annoyed instantly. Like, ugh, she gonna get the ick. Women who get the ick, they have zero levels of empathy. Okay, and they might even have an ick about something that didn't make any. Ooh, I was about to cuss. Didn't make any sense whatsoever. Okay, so if you are brave enough to do so, show your imperfections and watch how fast this woman turns on you if you want to do an empathy test on her. A couple of side notes here. Empathy can be faked, but you can't sustain fake empathy. The mask will slip eventually. So these are a few tests that you can, without trying again, run often or numerous times. You're eventually going to see imperfections in that person's character because they're faking, if they're faking to have empathy. There's another section I want to discuss. It's called selective empathy. When they obviously can pick and choose when they have empathy. This is, I'm going to just go ahead and categorize that as also fake empathy. But it's good to know the difference between empathy and sympathy. They sound alike, but they're not the same thing. And even if you go Google the definition, it's kind of, they're very vague. But let me give you to my best ability, my understanding on the difference between empathy and sympathy. Sympathy is when you relate to the way somebody feels or an experience that they had. And so you share feelings. So it's easy for you to connect with somebody on something, whether it be sadness, frustration, because you know their mom just passed, your mom passed, you know exactly what they feel. Okay. Empathy is your ability to connect with someone and relate to how they feel. Not relate, but connect and understand and share the way they feel, even if you haven't experienced what they experienced. So it's subtly different. Okay. So if someone has selective empathy, then they don't, it's more like sympathy rather than empathy, because sympathy means that they have been through it. So maybe they don't have any empathy, but they can have sympathy for you when you do actually experience things that they've experienced themselves. And so you're thinking like, you know, it might appear to be empathy, but it's not. It's just sympathy because they went through that too. Okay. And the other things they didn't experience and they have no empathy, therefore they don't have the ability to share your emotions on that subject. Okay. But like I said, it's very vital that you know, pick a woman who has genuine empathy. And this is a shortcut way to make sure that you are dating somebody that is sustainable long term and that has any kind of harmony in them and humility, you know what I mean, in them. Okay. So hopefully you all found that video helpful. If you did, please give me a like, comment, and subscribe. If you're new to my channel, my name is Jerome, and this has been another episode of The Superb Word. Until next time, y'all stay safe out there. Two fingers. All right.